Welcome back once again to Kevin Pollak's Chat Show. This episode is sponsored by Cards Against Humanity's 10 Days or Whatever of Kwanzaa. You give Cards Against Humanity $15 and they'll send you 10 mystery gifts for the 10 days or whatever of Kwanzaa. Space is limited to the first 250,000 people who sign up at holidaybullshit.com. Welcome back to Kevin Pollak's Chat Show. Thank you so much for joining us. It's another Sunday here from the West Side Comedy Theater in Santa Monica. Santa Monica, California. If you're ever out in the Santa Monica, California, or just Los Angeles general area, and you want to see some live comedy, improv, sketch, stand-up, this is an extraordinary space. Specialty shows. Go on their site, the West Side Comedy Theater, and check out the calendar. There are new hosts and home, and we're thrilled to be here, and I just want to give them a big shout out and thank you. This is, let's see, one of 3 shows in the month of November. We had Carrie Elwes last Sunday. Go to the iTunes or the YouTube or the Earwolf to listen or watch that. Yeah, that was exciting because his first book ever about Princess Bride, he brought the Sunday New York Times with him, and we saw physical evidence that his book opened at number 3 on the New York Times bestsellers list. And the first time he saw it, it was all very exciting and cool. And then the interview was shit, so maybe don't watch it. But, totally kidding, it was amazing. And his stories are ridiculous, and the impressions of Andre the Giant, but all of it was just great. His impression of Rob Reiner was spectacular.
He had many good impressions.
He had voices, including a phony English
He was stealing your bits.
Yeah, he really was. He was doing my bits.
I mean, that's what you thrive on, and he was really like just taking your heat.
He took all the wind out of my sail.
Oh.
I was hoping he'd be the wind beneath my, but not so much.
We don't have the copyrights to that.
Sammy, we don't. We can't sing. Sammy, you just got off a plane, and boy, you're ass tired.
As did I.
I told you.
The same
I told you last week there was no way I was going to miss this interview.
Right.
And it meant that I had to bribe people in Nashville to get lost in the airport after they'd already checked in for their flight, so I could steal their seat.
2 people.
2 people.
In fact.
I didn't bribe anyone. They just genuinely got lost. That's how. The only reason I'm here today is because 2 people in Nashville got to the airport, checked bags, and then decided not to show up at their game.
See, now that sounds like a terrorist act.
That does. What
They removed the bags.
Oh, they removed the bags.
I did not fly with those weirdos' bags. Plus, who wants to fly with the bags of 2 people who are dumb enough to not even realize their plane's over there?
I don't want their bags.
No, nobody wants those bags.
There's nothing in there we can sell.
But I made that flight, and then by the grace of God, I snagged one of the last standby seats here from Houston, and here I am straight from LAX.
After 3 flights.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so it's.
Where did you start today?
I feel like I started here. I basically just flew to Nashville and then back to Houston and then back here. I don't know what happened. But I'm here, and that's the important part.
You were out of town for
I was out of town
Doug Benson?
for about 16 hours with Doug Benson.
Oh, great.
Oh, nice.
It's good times.
And that'll drop eventually on the iTunes
I think
also.
it'll plop, as Doug likes to say, tomorrow.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Jamie, you're just back as well.
I am. Last
Between
night.
Last show and this show, you went off to the Disney World.
I did.
The fans of the show
as I'm a Disney theme park
rather shocked
nerd.
that you spent any time at Disney World.
Yes, it was a very exhausting trip.
Yeah.
Because I meet up with a friend who's from the East Coast, and he got me up at 7:25 every morning so we could get to the park at rope drop and like bang everything out really early, and we did, and I understand what we were doing, but
the first couple of days, that's 4:25 your body time.
Yeah.
Is that the one in Florida?
Yeah,
Yes.
Orlando.
So
Orlando.
I'm
Yeah.
tired.
Poor thing. Well, we've got a sleeping bag nearby.
So
If you fall over.
But I loved it, and I had a great time, and I did, you know, the Epcot Food and Wine Festival, which I love, and
Yeah.
it's great.
And you saw monkeys.
Yes, I did see at the Animal Kingdom.
Yeah.
The mandrills, they came right up to the Jeep, and they were asking for jewels and cash, and I was like, no.
The Blue Bottom Boys, the real name is the Mandrills.
The mandrills.
That's the
Rafiki is a mandrill.
Rafiki, for example. Well, welcome back. Okay, well, write to us at contact@kevinpollak'schatshow.com. Let us know how you do the show, what you don't like about the show. We don't really want to hear compliments at contact@kevinpollak'schatshow.com. We're bored to tears with compliments. Let us know what sucks and what we should fix, and then I can write you back and say, go fuck yourself. Now here's, wait for it. Have you seen the Tom Hanks, the Larry David? Tom Hanks has took 2 hours and 42 minutes with a Pabst Blue in each hand.
Yep.
Bitter juice, happy juice.
Yep.
I think he named them. And then Larry David, my favorite part was 12 minutes in when this revelation hit him and he said, you know, you're actually quite good at this. He yelled at me. It was fun. And shock. I realize if you tweak Alan Arkin just slightly, you get Larry David. Speaking of which, I saw the combination of Jimmy Carter and Elvis Presley last night at the Clinton Foundation.
Paula Deen was there?
No.
I don't know why I did that.
Clinton.
It's unnecessary.
Sometimes you combine the
I'm
impressions.
surprised you didn't go President Clinton.
Yeah.
I am President Clinton. This is the only way we can exchange protein strands.
Don't blame me. I voted for Kay.
Kodos. Kodos! Oh my
Wow.
God, Sam!
I'm very tired. I'm very tired. I got up at 1 a.m. this time.
They're both loopy. Unfortunately, it's Bloody Mary Day here at the show, so it's gonna get fun. All right, I'm gonna introduce our guest because we wasted enough of her time. She is a spectacular who, one of the first television jobs I ever had had to have been an early television job of hers as well. Speaking of Rob Reiner and Christopher Guest, two maniacs created this thing called Morton and Hayes, and we both worked together on it. And then last year, we were thrown together again into the television mix. And my favorite, almost singular favorite moment of the whole experience on the Mom program that you've heard me talk about was my first day walking onto near the set, wondering, Allison will remember me, right? I mean, it's been a while. Saw each other at Matthew's party. She's got to be somewhat happy about this, right? As I'm about to play her Long Lost Love. And I see her, and her eyes lit up and her arms went out, and it made me feel so welcome. Allison Janney, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
That really was a very special moment for me.
It was for me as well.
Aw.
You were huge in my mind. Doing Morton and Hayes and meeting you, and you were so funny, and you were, you know, friends with Rob and Chris, and I was so in awe of you.
How crazy was that
and
show and that job?
it was great. It was one of my first television show jobs, except for I did do a little soap opera in New York.
Oh yeah.
But this was a huge job for me to get, and it was pretty great. I wish that had gone on.
Yeah, I don't know where it could have lived then. Certainly not on the CBS where it was on for 6 weeks summer series.
Yeah.
That tells you how long ago this was. There was no original programming during the summer.
That's right.
So they would call them summer series, and people were like, "What do you mean? You're interrupting my reruns?" Yeah, 6 weeks. And Rob had his arms around me and Bob Amaral, who played the other jerk, on the cover of every Sunday supplement in newspapers around the country, and still 14 people watched.
I know.
It was a big zero, but so fun to do.
So fun.
Crazy fun.
Yeah.
And you did a couple episodes of it, I think.
I did. I was supposed to be. It was like I was in the acting troupe, and I would play me and. Wait a minute.
Wow,
Ooh,
really?
gosh.
You're going to pull that name? We're talking 1990, I think.
I feel like before that.
89, 90.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maria.
That's
Parkinson.
impressive. Somebody look it up.
Look it up. I think I may be right.
Yeah. Saps at Sea, I think was one of the episodes.
Society Saps. And you know, when you
Society
YouTube it, when I
Saps.
go on YouTube to find it, they show the whole episode. I mean,
Yes,
you
of
just
course.
Like, and it's so funny. Like, pigs in a blanket. Oh my God.
Yeah. It was 1930s, 40s.
Why, I oughta. What are
Yeah.
you looking at?
Yeah. Oh, you do you?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you and I got to actually do that riff on the Mom program this last week.
I know. I love that.
We screwed around in rehearsal with a line, and they went, "Hey, that's clever."
did the.
And then we got to do a little 40 speak.
Little 40 speak.
For
I
9
love
seconds.
40 speak.
So the first thing I have to ask, because of the aforementioned affection for a certain land, tell me the best part about doing or being the voice of Allison Janney on the Disneyland attraction Star Tours.
Oh my God.
Because every time we go near it,
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
I scream.
Whoa,
Yeah.
hold up.
Hold up.
Hold up.
Yeah.
She's also in the Finding Nemo attraction because you're the starfish from
Am I in
Finding
it?
Nemo.
I've never been to is it, it's a Universal?
Yeah,
Disneyland.
in Epcot, there's a Finding Nemo. That's the Living Seas with Nemo and
Oh,
friends.
at Epcot.
Yeah, and you're the starfish. Like she's the one that actually she greets, like not greets you, but she gives you your farewell. It says you exit.
You're
I
so long.
do?
Gives
Yeah,
so long.
you do.
The starfish does? I don't
Yes.
remember
She's
doing
like,
that.
hello, I'm here. Like, bye. I'm like,
better-
They revoiced
agency?
you with your non-union Mexican equivalent.
Holy cow! I don't remember doing that. The
Star Tours.
Ali Sands, I remember doing that.
Yeah.
And you know,
It must have been a while ago.
it was a long time ago.
Yeah.
And voiceovers are sort of they're not very memorable really, because you're just in a room and just talking to the mic.
You're by
and
yourself, there's a
by
music
yourself,
stand, there's headphones,
nothing,
yeah.
There was nothing unique about that experience at all, except for, and I would love to actually go and hear it, because there have been people who have gone and just been freaked out that they heard my voice in the, I don't even know exactly what it is. It's for the tour of, what? I don't even know.
While you're in the line or queue,
And
before
I
you
tell
go on the
rules
attraction.
I have to
about what
explain
you're
it.
supposed to do.
Jamie, tell us how it works.
Do I just...
your role is basically to tell people to put their seatbelts on.
And make their kids mind their manners and
like
all that.
exactly,
Yeah.
it's like you're the safety instructor that
Yeah.
basically is like, go in, put your seatbelts
But I'm
on,
animated,
tug
right?
on
Is
the
there an
strap.
animated
Yes, you're like tug on the
picture of
strap.
me?
It's basically it's the solo role in the Indiana Jones. It's like you basically have to watch this movie because idiots can't put on seatbelts, and
Yeah.
it's like this is how you put your seatbelt on.
Sweet. So my favorite part of that is that there was nothing memorable about it. But speaking of memorable,
I think it's memorable, and then I love my favorite part about that. I'm sorry,
I love that
I was
Jamie
such
does. I love it. No.
no, and my favorite part about it is whenever she goes, and then she does it in Spanish.
oh right,
Oh,
Yeah.
I did have to do it in Spanish.
Yeah, she's like she says it in English, and then she goes, and then she does it in Spanish.
nice.
And I did that. I remember I did that in Spanish.
No way.
It took a long time for me, because I do not speak Spanish, unfortunately. I should. It's been one of my regrets that I haven't. I still can do it. I'm going to do it, but they had to like say it. I almost had to do it word by word.
Yeah.
Because I was...
The inflection.
And
being
right
so
after that is
important.
J-Mac's favorite part, which is where the one little droid falls into the shit of the shaft.
All
And he
right.
cracks up every time, and he goes, oh, that dumb droid.
Now, believe it or not, Jamie, I think you might have enjoyed this next question even more because you shared a birthday with this legend. I need to know what it was like playing ping pong with Paul Newman.
Oh, wow. Pretty
What an
much the
extraordinary
coolest
experience.
thing. I know, because I went to Kenyon College, and Paul Newman went to Kenyon College, as did Jonathan Winters. And they built this beautiful new theater there, and they asked Paul to come back and christen it by directing the first play there, and it was a Michael Christopher play that was never perhaps ever seen again, and you know,
For reasons.
for reasons which I'm not at liberty to express or share with you, but it was called C.C. Pyle and the Bunyan Derby, about a cross-country race, and Paul directed it, and I got cast in it.
And you just happened to be going to school there at the time?
It was my freshman year, and we happened to meet up.
You're 18, 19 years old?
Yeah, I actually missed my first year, because I had this accident where I went through a play class window and missed my first year
Who
of college.
hasn't, by the way?
Who hasn't gone through a play class window here? Everybody. And so I missed my first year of college, so I think I was
19,
19,
maybe.
20, I don't remember. But
A kid.
I was a kid, and he cast me in that play, and from then on, it was just pretty cool. He would drive me. I got to ride in his Datsun. He drove a Datsun 280Z.
It was a big deal then.
Big deal
That car.
then, yeah. It was, and he gave me a ride from the theater down to the main street where there was a deli. We were all meeting up for lunch there or something.
And he was already a race car driver at that
Oh
point.
yeah.
In fact, there might have been some of that in your audition. You might
Well,
have.
yeah, because I didn't know you had to get up on stage and just talk. You had like 2 minutes to talk. That was your audition. They
Oh,
didn't
wow.
make you do anything, because the chorus girls in this play didn't have a lot to say. So he just wanted to get a sense of who you were as a person. And so I totally made up a lie. I lied and said that I drove a, oh, I'm so embarrassed to say, I drove a Scirocco. Do you even know what that is?
The type of car made by, say, Plymouth was a Scirocco.
It was a Volkswagen
Volkswagen Scirocco. Oh, now that you say Volkswagen Scirocco, there's a slight...
That my grandmother gave me for graduating from high school.
Oh, yeah.
And I was pretty proud of it. And I just said, like, I live in Dayton, Ohio, and Kenyon is in Gambier, Ohio, and it's like a 2.5-hour drive. And I said, with the way I drive and the shortcuts I know, I can get there in 1 hour and 40 minutes. And I just told this whole bullshit story about
But knowing
that it might appeal to his race car, you know.
That was kind of heads up.
And he cast me. I think it had more to do with the fact that I looked like I could be from the 40s, or like I had a sort of other. I have never felt like I looked like a modern gal. I've always felt like I looked like I came from a different time.
Sure.
I don't know.
As did he, luckily.
So I got in it, and he was so sweet and generous with me, and
just hung out every day.
Hung out. So we got to play ping pong in the theater. There was a ping pong table. I played ping pong with him.
Just so.
And fortunately for me, my dining room table growing up was a ping pong table, so I was pretty good at it.
In case someone at the family during dinner wanted to break out into a game? What do you mean it was a ping pong table?
I don't know. It's just our dining room table for a while, and we would take off the net and put a tablecloth over it, and have dinner there. And then one day, I don't know why I'm telling you this story. My mother had all of her you know, when she got married, she got this china from. No, it was glassware from, what's the fancy glassware? Not going to remember it.
Lalique?
No.
Who else makes fancy glass? It'll come to you.
I don't know. It was really expensive glassware, and she said it.
Waterford?
Was it Waterford? I don't know.
That is a fancy one.
Anyway, the ping pong table
think.
collapsed under. She put all the maid was
trying to
cleaning up
think
all
of
the glassware, put it up on one side of the table, and the ping pong table collapsed, and all the glass shattered, and that was the end of the ping pong table, as the dining room table.
Yeah.
Can't believe I can't think of the name of that. Damn it. No, that's right.
Schwarzer's crystals. Waterford is specifically.
No, it wasn't
sorry.
Waterford. Steuben.
Steuben.
You said Steuben.
Steuben. Yeah.
Right? Steuben.
Yeah.
Steuben glass.
Steuben.
Beautiful.
Crazy expensive.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
All shattered. So then we got a real dining room table after that. But yeah, it was pretty cool. And he told me, he said, he wanted to do me a favor. He said, in the business, he said, but it has to be very specific. So don't call me for any lame shit. Just, you know, get something specific.
Yeah, I have in the notes here, did he actually say, if you ever need a favor, let me know? So he went on to say, it better be a good one.
Yeah, he did. He said, make it good. Don't waste this favor. And so that, I could never think of the right one. I was like, this isn't good enough. I can't ask him for that. Oh wait, I'll think of it. But
you carried it around like a chip.
I carried it around like a chip. Yeah, it gave me a lot of confidence. That was kind of a cool thing for him to say, but I never did actually get that favor from him. But I think it's okay. Just
pulled over by a cop. You know, I could.
I know.
Call Paul Newman right now. I don't know if you know that or not. That's pretty amazing.
Never. But Joanne, his wife, she was also really generous with me and a group of us young actors in New York, giving us a place to, you know, do scene nights and have agents see us. And
they sort of encourage you also to go to New York, maybe.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
From Kenya.
Yeah, my friend Allison Janney, she actually filled out the application to go to the neighborhood playhouse for me. I was very unmotivated as a young girl. I just didn't have I had not a clue of what I was going to do with my life. And so she filled that out for me and called me to say, you've been accepted at the neighborhood playhouse. And I was like, I guess I'm going to New York. I guess I'm going to the neighborhood playhouse.
You were accepted just from filling out the application?
Yeah, and I'm sure because Joanne went there, and so I'm sure she made a phone call and got me in to the neighborhood playhouse.
Which was kind of a big deal.
It was a big deal. It was a great thing to do right after college, to go there. It wasn't a job per se, but I didn't have to worry that much because my parents were very generous and, you know, allowed me to do that without having a job for the first 2 years I was there.
Before you had to scoop ice cream.
Yeah, before.
Right?
I was just hearing voices. Are those in my
Up
head?
in the crow's nest. Keep it down. No.
Okay.
We can hear them. The microphones can't.
Yeah, I did. I had to scoop ice cream. I had to be. I worked at a recording studio.
Let me just ask you about the scooping ice cream.
Yeah,
It's very
the thing
silly.
about scooping ice cream is you get a really buff arm.
You got a buff arm, but you're very and
You
silly.
do, no?
You do.
Well, if you
You
do
do.
it enough, sure. But it always seemed like a job when you go to an ice cream parlor, you see the person, you go, that would be fun because I could eat all the ice cream I want. But like anything, it must have got incredibly old incredibly fast. And then you just have sticky crap all over your hand all day.
Yeah.
Right?
The worst, the thing I remember most about that job is that it was basically an ice cream, cafe, but they decided to try to do breakfasts. And so they would, this is so gross, they would scramble eggs in the thing that they used to steam the milk.
No.
So you'd put eggs in that steamer thing and scramble them up there and then wipe it off and then do milk.
No.
It was disgusting.
Yes,
it was really gross. Not my favorite job. And then I don't think I got fired, but I had this one table of like 8 people who ordered sundaes with all different, I want mine with chocolate fudge chip and, Moroccan mocha mud, whatever.
Sure.
And I forgot which one was which, and I just put them down on the table and I went, you guys figure it out. I have no idea, but there you go. And
Greatest waitress ever.
Oh, it was terrible.
Yeah.
And people were mean in New York. That I have like a half a layer of skin.
Yeah.
So I was not a good waitress, and I would cry easily. People would come in, and I'd forget to put someone's butter in their muffin bag, and they'd come back and like, "Would your mother teach you to do it like that?" I'd be like, "Oh my God."
That's not the way it works in Ohio.
No, I was not. I don't have. I was not a good New Yorker.
Yeah.
There.
I'm me neither. I can't stay for very long.
Really? Now that strikes me as strange.
I know,
like you
'cause
could.
I
handle.
have. It's an attitude problem. Most people think I'm from New York. I don't like the 5,000 people in my face on the
I don't
sidewalk.
either.
Hey, how are you? Good to see. Up. I'm sorry, Mike. Up.
Yeah.
No care for that.
And it has nothing to do with being an actor at all. The people always assume that's what I mean when I say I can't. All the people, and they assume that I'm saying that because I'm an actress. I'm like, it has nothing to do with that.
Yeah,
That's
it's just
never a
people.
problem. It's just that it makes me claustrophobic almost being in that city.
God, if you ever need a favor. I mean, that's a chip in your pocket that you walk around with for
I know.
life, basically.
I know. It made me feel, it was a huge vote of confidence from someone
From
like
just
that.
being hired.
By the way, it was just a genuinely really lovely man who loved actors and loved talking about acting and just hated the celebrity part of his life. And I remember being out to dinner with him and Joanne and Paul and my friend Allison Janney, and someone came up to the table and said, "I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt." And he said, "Well, you are interrupting, so why do it?" Like, he just was very
Honest?
very honest, and the person went away, but I was just impressed by that because he just obviously was a man who was just did not like that part of
I
being
try
a
to make
celebrity.
light of it in a similar way. They come up, sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, what do you say?
Too late.
Too late.
They really-
Are you?
Maybe he was on to one of the greatest moves ever with this. You get one favor, but make it great. Maybe he, in earlier years, everyone wanted favors from him all the time.
Yeah.
So maybe he was like, oh, if I tell everyone they only get one, they'll be too scared to use it.
And
Well,
not even everyone. If I
yeah.
handpick the people who get
Yeah.
one,
Who get-
but I make this a calling thing.
Yeah.
Also, just I assume the wherewithal to know that it would impress upon the person when he said it. This is kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
Without having to say, you realize this is a big deal, don't you? What about advice? What about, because I'm assuming as a director of the piece, you're getting advice every day on scenes and
Well,
whatnot.
what I loved about his direction, I don't think I got much advice, but I just the way he wouldn't sit up in the seats and yell, direction, or
Right.
he'd come down and he would put his arm around you and talk to you privately, which I love. So then the other actors wouldn't necessarily know what he was giving you, which as an actor is kind of, I think it's great because
Spectacular.
so I sort of relished those moments when he would come and talk to me privately and say, maybe you might think about, this moment this way, or just giving me little hints or suggestions about what to do, and I like that. I don't know where it came from. Maybe he was insecure about his direction and he didn't want everyone to hear it. I don't know.
Oh, I doubt it. I
don't
think taking
know.
people aside is a very specific gesture.
I kind of loved
quite frankly,
it.
yeah.
So I would try to mess up a lot, so he would come over and put his arm around me and like give me some special instruction.
Isn't it one of the all-time great things about the occupation is getting to meet, getting to work with, getting to know iconic figures from what we do? It is one of the bizarre, like if you are an architect, you may not ever meet the greatest architects of all time. You may not ever be mentored by the greatest architects of all time. But our job as actors, being thrown into an ensemble, say, in a film, well, look over there, there's fill in the blank, who I'm going to now be equal on equal footing with. It's a crazy byproduct of this. For example, having to make out with Meryl Streep. What the hell?
I know.
You know, I mean, there's the joy that one can assume that comes from watching her work. Because before the making out, you guys worked on another thing.
Worked on a couple of things with Meryl.
Right. Where you were just sort of watching her.
I'm trying to remember if The Hours was the first thing I did with
No, there was
her.
something before that. According to the research, I have it somewhere. But anyways, you did get a chance to sort of watch her do her thing.
Yeah, it was pretty extraordinary to watch her do her thing because she needed very little. She can generate everything she needed. Like I remember there's one scene in The Hours where she had to look at a casserole dish that her lover had made, and he died. I don't even remember the story, but yeah, he dies. And this thing he used to make, someone makes for his funeral or something, and someone, I had to hold it off camera for her to look at. She's supposed to have this big emotional moment where she sees it and breaks down. And I'm like thinking, the guy's just like giving me a little plate to hold, and I'm like, you should have the thing so she has
the real thing.
You know, and the prop guy says, Meryl, what do you need? Oh, she said, I don't need anything. You just, you know, she just didn't need I was impressed by that she needed nothing to help her. She knew all her work was inside, and it was very easy for her to be emotional. It was very easy for her to, and our kiss was, she was so lovely to me. She didn't like the way she was lit in that movie at all. She was very upset about it, and
and she would share that with you in confidence, or she would share with the
No, she
DP.
pretty much was vocal about it. She was,
and why not?
I remember because Julianne Moore was in that movie, and she had to play like 40 years older than, and she had all this age makeup they put on her, and Meryl was like, God, they lit her better than they lit me, and my. So when we had to kiss, she said, I'm going to do you a huge favor. I'm going to give you a little facelift when we kiss. So she put her hands around me like this, and then she went in for the kiss. And she said, it was
holding your
so
face,
funny,
but in
holding
such a
my
way
face,
that
and she knew the lighting wasn't going to do me any favors. So she's like, I'm going to do you a favor there. I'm just going to go like that.
Wow, you got to pay that one forward someday.
I know, it was really sweet of her. She was so fun and so generous and just, you know, very, very girly, and there was a funny, oh God, when just did something that makes you love her even more. We were having drinks after shooting one night, and who was in the restaurant? It was John Cleese, I think, and we were sitting in the bar area, and he was in the restaurant, and she said, I want to go say hi to him, but I'm not sure he remembers me. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? What are you saying? Of course he's going to remember. And she said, I don't know. I said, just go in and walk. If you walk in around the restaurant, I'm sure he'll see you and call you over. And I don't think I can do it here. I can't do what she did, but she came back just crestfallen that he did indeed not seen her or not called her over, and it was probably because he didn't have his glasses on or whatever, he was blind.
Or drunk.
But she did this whole imitation of how she had walked in and sort of walked by the table and was like, just sort of, just, you know, going
the way
by,
you do.
the way you do, thinking, oh, surely at this point he'll say, nope, he's not going to recognize me.
Yeah.
So insecure and thinking that someone wouldn't.
Isn't
like,
that
really?
the great thing?
Meryl Streep?
Yeah, it doesn't matter, does it?
No, it doesn't.
And it's all relative.
Yeah.
You could meet someone that admires your work just as easily, who can't believe that you're not happy with the lighting either.
Yeah, I never am. I never watch it. I can't look at anything I do. It's just devastating.
I sense that you don't want to look at any of it.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No.
Now, do you know that I happen to be the opposite of that? Everything I've ever done plays on 7 screens throughout my house.
Jamie, really?
on a continuous loop.
I want to give a shout. Wait, this is funny.
Okay, I hope so.
I want to give
What?
a shout out to a friend of the theater, Jack McDonald,
Yeah.
who was working out to watching The Usual Suspects the other day, and I was like, you know, whenever Kevin gets shot, my mother's like, oh, Kevin got shot, and then like
Leaves the room.
leaves the room.
Yeah, it's a
and he did the same thing, and
Yeah.
he was like,
It's a long-standing rule that
You
when
get
I
shot.
get shot, you have to stop watching the movie.
you get shot in many films.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Our own
all
Josh
right.
Negan put together a reel of it. It's pretty spectacular. Let's talk a little bit about there's another favorite of mine. Going to Sonic in Greenwood, Mississippi with Emma Stone.
Oh, the Sonic. Yeah.
But she, at 19, with the metabolism of a ferret,
Yeah.
would drag you to.
Yeah. And I was supposed to be, playing a woman dying of cancer. Like,
Technically
technically very thin. I was not at my thinnest at that point. And
And you tried 17 different milkshakes.
yeah,
apparently.
she was really game for just like, oh my God, Sonic. She had just so much energy and so much fun and just wanted to just eat all day long and all this great fried food. And yeah, I'd never been to the Sonic, and apparently it was just a huge favorite of hers. And you'd go and get the thing on the side of the car. They'd come. I don't know. It wasn't that great, but
No. And then we see the commercials here, and the nearest one is what, 60 miles? Yeah.
is there one here in California?
The nearest Sonic is in Anaheim.
Anaheim.
Okay. It was something to do. Wasn't a lot to do in Greenwood, Mississippi, but that was
You got to work with the great Octavia.
Octavia Spencer. So yeah, Octavia and I have been friends for a long time, and
Prior to that, or from?
yeah. Prior to that, Tate Taylor, who directed the movie, he and Octavia drove out to LA from Mississippi. They both had just worked on Joel, God.
It's okay. It's Sunday.
Oh
It's
my
Sunday.
God!
This happens to all of us on Sunday.
The Sandy Bullock, lawyer movie with
Oh,
Oliver
Time to
Platt,
Kill.
Time to Kill. Thank you. And they were both PAs on that. And they decided to come out to LA together to be actors.
They were both PAs.
Yeah.
Spectacular.
Yeah, and I met them both, and Octavia and I both had huge crushes on Tate, so she hated me when she first met me because she thought I had a better chance of getting him than she did. And so she hated me. I didn't know that at all. And then, of course, turns out he was not playing for our team. So it was like she decided that she could love me once again. Just I've done all of Tate's movies with her, and then for this to happen and Tate to have written this part that was just tailor-made for her was extraordinary. And wherever she is, it's just a party. She's a pretty
I
funny.
can attest to that.
Yeah.
I shot with her the weirdest horror movie in Romania.
Oh, you were in that movie with her?
I was in that
Oh
movie.
my gosh, she
you
had
seen
some
that
crazy.
movie, Pulse?
No, I have
Oh,
not
yeah,
seen
no,
it.
no
I need
one
to
should
see
see it.
What's it called? Pulse?
Yeah, but she's in it. She's great. And
I believe it's playing on Chiller right now,
oh, fantastic.
or Fairnet.
I gotta see
and
it.
and so the only restaurant that you could go to in Bucharest, Romania, is the Benihana in the Howard Johnsons.
Oh my God.
And
So you would dine there often.
and so we would dine there as
Wow.
often as we could. It was the only place that was not guaranteed to poison you.
I like it. Joe Fox would say, Benihana.
Benihana.
And
I love Benihana.
we're in the Benihana, me and Octavia, and
Yeah.
a couple of cast members, and then somebody goes, "Is that Francis Ford Coppola?" Just sitting at a table, holding court, doing a thing.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah, and we're all way too nervous to go over there. Nobody wants to go over there.
Yeah.
And Octavia goes, "All right," and she just gets up and walks over.
Oh yeah.
Not even a second thought about it.
Yeah.
And
That's your
she's
pal,
standing there
Octavia.
talking to
Yeah.
him for.
She's fierce and always a good time. We're going to have Thanksgiving with her.
Oh, nice.
This year at Tate's. Tate bought an antebellum plantation near Natchez, Mississippi,
Of course he did.
for like
$2.
$600.
Yeah.
And totally restored it and redecorate everything, and so he's having like 20 people down for Thanksgiving.
That must be
And
spectacular.
I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, I
It's
would
going to
think
be a
so.
lot of fun.
Yeah.
A lot of fun. No, I'm so happy for her for her success, and of course she played on the Mom program with us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hoping she'll come back to play with us.
She's spectacular.
Yeah.
Her new movie, Kevin Costner, Black and White, is pretty amazing.
Oh, you saw it?
Yeah, I saw it early. The writer-director,
Really?
old pal Mike Binder, yeah.
Oh my, yeah.
So I
That
saw
was
it
his
early.
movie?
He wrote and directed that. Yeah. Oh, yes.
I'm sorry, let me just, I didn't get that connection. I didn't realize that. Okay.
Well,
I want to see it.
He's fairly humble about those kinds of things. It might not be something he threw out.
All right.
Now, another old friend of mine
Yeah.
is Anthony LaPaglia. And you guys...
Anthony.
don't see New Australia coming when you first meet him.
No.
From his work.
No.
You don't see that coming.
No.
A View from a Bridge was the first thing. Yeah, that was before the Winter Solstice.
Yes, A View from the Bridge.
The
we
highly
did
Tony
together.
nominated.
Yeah, Tony, and he won a Tony.
In the show.
I got
you
nominated. I did not win a Tony. I've not won a Tony in my life yet. I'm so disappointed.
Must be.
But Anthony and I had a long run with that. That was crazy, and with Brittany Murphy too, of course, who is no longer with us, and that was really
She was in the original
just
cast?
such a loss. Yeah, she was.
Oh,
She
wow.
was. She played my daughter.
Right.
And Anthony was. We did some crazy work together on the stage. Crazy fight scenes, and one scene in particular, one night on the Broadway, as I like to call it, in our big fight scene. He charges me, and I'm always like standing my ground, and he thinks I bit him, but I think he charged me and headbutted me, and literally my front teeth like ripped up his nose, and he started bleeding all down his face in the middle of the show, and I'm like, he has no idea. I think it's sweat because Anthony's a big sweater.
Sure.
Just a lot of sweat, a lot of liquid coming out of him, and now the blood's pouring down his face, and I'm like trying to tell him, on stage without saying, "Oh my God, you're bleeding," going. I'm trying to take my handkerchief and give it to him, and he's like pushing me away, and I'm like, oh my God, it was crazy. And he got off, and to this day, he has a scar on his nose, which he blames me for.
Yeah.
But I think
He charged you.
he charged me. He headbutted me.
The way the Australians do.
What do I go? Really? I'm going to go bite his nose in the middle of like...
It makes no sense.
I
Why
wouldn't
would you?
do that. I wouldn't.
Yeah. Here he comes again. I'm going to bite him this time. I don't see that happening.
Oh my God, that
was a good long run.
It was. We started out at Circle Rep, and then we moved to the Eugene O'Neill Theater on 52nd Street, I think, for a while. Yeah, it was a great thing. And then Winter Solstice, that was on TV the other day. I've never seen it, and I haven't watched it all the way through, but I sort of watched it a little bit because the years have make me kinder to myself looking back. I don't know how old I was when I did that.
Well, it was 10 years ago.
Yeah, so I was 10 years younger. So I looked at myself and was like, oh, okay.
You know what?
Right. I'm not so bad. I don't look so bad.
What was my problem then?
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That I try to instill to the younger people who
Yeah.
think they're aging prematurely now.
I know.
Guess what?
I know.
What? 10 years from now, you're going to look back and say, why didn't I
love
everything was
myself
fine.
then? I looked great.
Yeah.
Oh no, I look great.
Okay, good.
Oh no, I'm anxious. Even with you.
Don't start. What? This one.
No.
Don't
You
start.
both look like you're 30 years old at the highest. 30. 29, 30.
32.
We're the same age. I'm older than you by 6 weeks.
Yeah, about that. 32.
I'm older than him by 6 weeks.
Oh.
This is my birthday month, by the way, November.
You are November baby. I've got it right
You
here.
Scorpio?
Yes.
Scorpio.
What's your birthday?
November 4th. October
November
30th.
19.
October
November
30th,
October
also
30th.
Scorpio.
Scorpio.
Do you have any plans for the birthday?
You know what? I am going to be in New York City for my birthday.
Perfect.
And I am going to see On the Town and go to the Rainbow Room maybe for dinner.
Fantastic.
And I have a lot of friends there. I'm just going
Yeah.
to make it. It's a press trip I have to go on for the mom program. I'm going to do Letterman.
Perfect.
A little afraid of that. He scares me a little bit. I've never had like a great. He's always sort of just asked a question and let me talk for the whole time, but I don't know how to. I'm trying to get a game plan together for how.
But wouldn't you rather do Letterman than have to go on Fallon and play some stupid
No, I would
hokey
rather
game?
play a stupid game than talk.
Really?
Oh, yes.
She doesn't like to talk.
I don't like to talk. I would rather play a game than have to talk seriously about anything.
Yeah.
As you can see, I'm not that.
All right, I guess I'm like, I'm in the
fumbly.
minority. I'm not with middle America.
No, but you don't have to be under the lights and have to talk seriously to Letterman. That's the which would you rather scenario that you're giving.
It's a little daunting.
It's very daunting.
I think maybe, hopefully, he's softened, over the years, and now that he's not going to be doing it next.
He's wrapping up.
He's wrapping
in a couple
up,
of months,
so
yeah.
maybe he'll like me. I don't know.
You should probably believe that going into it. That,
I know he doesn't not like me. I just think he doesn't.
He has no way of showing it.
Yeah, maybe that's it. I don't know.
But that'll
Are
be
you nervous that I'm talking
May I
about
ask a
this?
silly
That'll be a great
May I
birthday.
ask a silly question? This is really silly.
Sure.
Okay, so when you go on talk shows, do you normally wear dresses?
I do.
Okay.
It's
so
awful.
This is just a silly lady question. Women's legs are so shiny whenever they're on talk shows. Like,
Yeah.
what do you do? Like, use baby oil?
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
what do you
put
do?
on-
What
they
do you
put
before
on
you go?
leg makeup. They put on, bronzer and maybe a little sheen, a little oil
So
sheen.
they really do it, because I'm always fascinated by, wow, their legs look amazing. They're
Yeah.
always like in these like cute cocktail dresses, and they're like, oh, look at my legs. They're
Yeah.
also super shiny.
Yeah, and usually, whenever I try on with my stylist brings me clothes for a talk show, I always have to do the sitting down in the chair and like, what do you see? What do you see? Is it bad? Does it look better that way? Or that way, or that way, and I practice sitting in the chair to
So this is
see
the whole
how
process.
my
See?
legs
See, it's not a
will
silly
look.
question.
See
It's
that,
not. It's a
audio-only
huge
listeners?
concern.
It's a huge. It's gotta be.
Huge concern.
Half of you is naked.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
And there's certain angles where nibbles and bits don't look so
Yeah.
nice, so you gotta really
But I'm
work
always
it out.
fascinated because it's like the legs look like they just
Perfect.
got doused in
Yeah.
baby oil. And
There's
I'm
a lot of
like,
work that
what
goes
is
on.
going
It's just not natural.
And
Jamie.
some are more shiny than others. I have
Yeah.
noticed sometimes
Yeah.
certain leg shine can signal ships at sea.
Yeah.
It gets a little bright at times. On others, not on you.
You can always tell when the camera guy likes
Yeah.
there's a lot of shots of the wide shots and.
My entire body up with baby oil before I do any panel.
I'm
I'm in a suit, but
I
still,
bathe in it.
I like to feel good underneath.
I'm soaking.
I bathe in baby oil.
That's right.
So I don't.
Oh my God.
Why did Woody Allen have such a difficult time pronouncing triplex? It's triplex. It's not trip.
Wait, really? What do you think it is?
It's triplex.
Come on, really?
Yeah.
Well, why did he give me shit about it?
Exactly.
Then?
I think it's an East
I don't
Coast
know
thing,
why.
maybe
Maybe he didn't like me. I always thought Woody Allen would love me. I felt like I'm the perfect Woody Allen actress.
You are.
I really do. And I don't think he ever appreciated that or saw that in me. And I was so heartbroken about it. I was in one movie, Celebrity, it's called. Had one little scene sitting at a table, much like this, with a bunch of people. I don't even remember what it was, a wedding or no, I don't even remember what it was. And I had to play this snooty real estate person who said, well, something with the word triplex in it. And Woody Allen comes over after one take, and I wish I could do him. You should do it. He goes, is it triplex or triplex?
Excuse me, Allison, without sounding a bit didactic, I think it's extremely important that we, consider is it triplex or triplex? He literally said that?
Yeah, and I said, I don't know. I've always just said triplex. And he said, well, you better find out.
You better find out.
Yes.
Not the guy who wrote it.
No. Why would he do that? Like say, well, you better find out. And then walked away, and all these extras sitting around the table looked at me like, well, what are you going to do? And I was like, what am I going to do? Like, what am I going to? And then I realized it was like a big room filled with all these banquet tables.
Mr. Real Estate.
Mr. Real Estate, Donald Trump was doing a cameo.
If anyone knows how to pronounce
And I was like, well, I guess I got to go ask Donald Trump. And I went over and tapped him on the shoulder, and I said, sorry, I'm Allison Janney. I'm doing a Can you tell me if it's triplex or triplex? And he thought about it, and he said, I like triplex. And I went, okay, thank you. Went back over.
Anyone ever even heard triplex as a way to say it?
No.
You
Seriously?
have. East Coast?
Where were you guys when
East
I
Coast?
needed to?
It's an East Coast thing, isn't it?
Nobody calls it a duplex.
Duplex? Triplex?
Excellent
Well, there's
point.
tricycle, bicycle, just triangle, triplex.
Try being
Flex.
three.
Try
Yeah.
is the
Three.
Yeah.
Three.
but
Try.
I don't
three.
know.
Not trip. Three.
I felt he was shaming me for making me. I thought he was calling me out that I hadn't done my homework or something by not knowing how to pronounce it, and I just didn't think there was anything wrong with the
He's
way I
kind
was
of famous for
pronouncing
giving
it.
not such friendly directions.
So that was a
like
was a
this is one of
very
the more
little-
famous things I've heard he said.
What?
After a take, cut, and then you come over. Okay, so that thing you did in the last take, don't,
Wow.
and then just walk away. Like, how could you be that?
Why would he have to be so mean?
Well, or just because I'm convinced
He
thinks
also makes one
that's
movie
funny.
a year,
Yeah.
and like
Yeah.
1 out of 5 are good.
Yes.
So
Well, then there's that. But when you
So-
put out that many, but also I'm really convinced he thinks that's funny, and that the other person would find it funny too, not realizing that the other person might in fact be an insecure actor.
Yes.
Who'd rather their hero, Woody Allen, say, "That was
You know,
tremendous. Let's do it a
Let's
different
do it
way."
again with say
Yeah.
a triplex this way because I'm not sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Weird,
yeah,
right?
I never worked with him again. So I always thought, well, I guess I screwed the pooch on that one because I didn't know how to pronounce triplex. Whatever. But it was like a Woody Allen movie within a Woody Allen movie. You know
Yes.
how he always like is in the movie, and then there's the expert on the fact that Donald Trump was right there. I was
Right.
like, oh no, let me bring the
Yeah.
real estate king over here and.
Though that was
Yeah,
a
well.
strange, almost worked film to begin with, and so there's a chance he might have been feeling a little insecure anyway.
All right, thank
You worked with our dear friend Jason Bateman, who we love so very much on the
Oh.
Juno, starting with on the Juno.
I love him.
According to the research, when you were asked to be a part of the press junket, it was kind of nice because you hadn't, according to you, your words, hadn't really had that many shoot days to be with
I didn't. I
everyone.
wasn't with him
Right.
at all. I didn't shoot one day with him on Juno.
And so the delight comes from the press junket.
Yeah.
And there's something that Jason Bateman can do for people on a press junket that just makes it more fun.
Oh my God, he just makes it so much fun.
He's a silly goose.
He's really silly, and I just fell in love with him. He just made the whole thing so much better. Everything was better with him, and I got paired with him for some reason in some of the, the rooms.
When you go from room to room.
Room to room, and I just laughed the whole time.
Yeah.
Just laughed.
Yeah.
Anything he said. It's just,
There's an ease about his
Yeah,
humor.
yeah.
It seems effortless.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
it is about making sure everyone's comfortable.
yeah.
Yeah.
So.
J.K. Simmons, your scene partner
Yes.
in the work that you did do.
Yeah,
Spectacular.
yeah.
Ridiculous.
I know. I'm also
Rushed to
lovely.
see his new film Whiplash.
You haven't seen it?
Yeah. It
Okay.
was at the Sundance.
Okay.
But I just saw a trailer for it on TV.
Oh,
so
it's out.
It just
It is
opened.
out.
Oh,
Were you at the
it's out.
It's out.
it's out. It's amazing.
It's
Is it?
really and a tour de force
for
for him,
him.
which is really great.
No, who directed it?
A
Was
fairly
it-
new guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. I think he was quite young.
Yeah.
I think he had his mother with him at the Q&A. That's a joke. He's quite young.
You know, Kevin Spacey takes his mother to the premieres and Q&A sometimes.
Uh huh.
He does?
Yep.
Really?
Takes her to premieres and Academy Awards and things. Yep.
I'm looking at my
So
computer's very slow. Sorry.
She's his favorite date.
The director of the film's name is coming to us quickly, of the Whiplash. But yeah, and J.K. Simmons is like Jason
I have an
Reitman.
answer.
Yes, what
Yeah,
is
Jason.
that.
Well, Jason, he's like in every
Cazale?
Jason
Damien
film.
Cazale?
That's why I thought
Lucky
that Jason
Charm.
directed.
Yeah.
I was hoping I would be the same, but apparently not.
Yeah. He has one Lucky Charm, and I've asked him about it,
Jason.
and it's J.K., and it'll always be
Yeah.
J.K.
Yeah.
The director is Damien, I would say Cazale.
Damien Chazelle.
Or Chazelle. It's a
It's-
CH, so we don't know.
C.H.
Damien.
Yeah.
Chazelle.
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 Chazelle. Anybody, somebody?
Could
God,
go
how
either
about your
way.
phone? My phone thing on my my car, like.
But it won everything at Sundance, no? It won like best picture.
Yes.
Best feature.
It did win.
The pronunciation of your friends and your car. You know, when your car talks to you. I'm in a Ford Edge,
Sure.
and the pronunciation of the names is very funny.
It's always interesting.
My friend Mr. Gesse is pronounced. Calling Jesse, Kevin Jesse.
Nice. I would be
Mr.
Polak.
Awesome is Mr. Owessom. You're Pollock, I think. I said calling Kevin Pollock. No.
Polak?
I
Yeah.
can't remember. It wasn't your. I can't
No,
remember.
it can't be.
Anyway, they're very amusing.
Speaking of very amusing, Billy Connolly, the legendary Scottish comedian who you shared a dressing room with.
And it happened one night.
Yeah.
Seriously, no kidding, with a rope and a blanket over it.
Right.
I had no idea who he was, by the way. It was just this
Even
very
better,
funny man.
even better.
And we
Bigger
shared
than
a
life.
freaking dressing room together. Like, why did they suppose to put us two together? Is it not? It was on. It was
Drop
called
Dead
Ship
Gorgeous.
of Fools, but
Not Drop Dead
no.
Gorgeous? No.
It was a Stanley Tucci movie.
Oh, Big Night.
Big Night.
No, it wasn't Big Night. It was the next one. It was took place on a ship. It was a really didn't do so well. It was called
right.
Ship of Fools, and they had to change the name because there was a famous Ship of Fools movie, and it was called whatever.
That's why they have phones. I'll look it up.
My computer's too slow.
Oh, he's
But
got a phone.
he was just another one. Just
Bigger than life. And
everything
crazy
that
funny.
came out of his mouth was just hysterical. Coming home at like 6 a.m, filming all night in a van with people, going back to the drop-off point in the city because we were filming in Brooklyn or something. He would, say one
Story.
thing and just everyone would be laughing,
With that
crying,
ridiculous
and
accent
just didn't
and-
matter how late we were up or how cranky we were. He would just.
Yeah.
Just one of those people I will always want to be around. There are a handful of them. I would just, because I really just want to laugh.
Yeah, entertain
I'm
me
not
and-
the person who can make you laugh unless you write me dialogue and I memorize it and I make you laugh. But I can't that kind of humor and wit like you have. and
Verbose
Really
storyteller.
kind of just it's so much fun to be around people like you. It's just
Billy.
really fun.
Well, it's a class clown thing too. We can't help it. But you do like to hang back and do the observing.
I do.
I love this
watch.
little piece. You would hang out at the Mall of America to get the accent just right for Drop Dead Gorgeous.
Yeah.
Does that sound familiar?
Oh yeah.
Be-
Oh yeah. I
yeah.
went to the Mall of America because my brother lived in St. Paul, and we would go to the mall so I could hear the Minnesota accent, so I could get it down right. And that was like, oh my God, they were so. It was the accent when you hear it.
It's unbelievable.
It's just unbelievable. You
Yeah.
do it like no one's going to believe me. It's great, but it took me a while to have that ice cube melt. That's the way I think of it, as like ice cube, and then it starts to melt, and you're like, oh my God, now I got it. It's
Yeah.
so much fun. Yeah, that was a 6-week stint. They didn't care much about my schedule back in those days, so I was there for 6 weeks.
You spread it out a bit.
Oh my God.
We need you here. We need you
Yeah,
here. You
yeah.
can't go anywhere. The Mall of America. The first time you walk in that place, it's daunting.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to handle it now.
No.
As I've gotten older, I do not like the mall situations. I get kind of nervous and uncomfortable around all the anxiety making. What is that? Is that agoraphobia? What have I got now?
When there's too many people around.
too many people and too many, just like I just want to go run away.
Yeah, I'm not a big
kidding.
fan of it. Giant spaces filled with too many people.
Then I loved it.
I
was
love the
like,
mall. The mall's my cardio.
A mall, not the Mall of America.
No, not the Mall of
Yeah, the
America.
Mall of
Like
America-
a mall, like the Fox Hills Mall.
Right.
That's my cardio.
A mall is
Like
fantastic.
I'm like just doing my errands.
The Mall of
Really,
America
cardio
is
down.
100,000 people, literally,
Yeah.
Yeah.
walking around stores.
Yeah, it's
I'm pretty sure it was Finding Nemo.
what?
No.
Just about.
Oh my God.
I'm going to do this wonderful live read for
wait.
our one of our sponsors. Jess, did you want to add something beforehand? Okay. You can. You may.
I thought of it, but then I want to save it.
Oh, okay, good. Save it.
What do you got to do?
This is one of our sponsors today. I want to point out these fine folks sponsors a lot of podcasts, including and also some shows on Sirius. They've been incredibly good sponsors to a lot of shows, and so I do want to thank them for sponsoring this show as well. Are you getting enough sex? If so, please explain what that's like. Let me ask you a question. Are you getting enough? I bet you'd love more, wouldn't you? AdamandEve.com wants to give you more. How bad could that be? With 10 free gifts. First, you'll get a sexy surprise for her. What could that be? Secondly, a specially selected toy for him. What? Ah. And third, a little something you're both enjoying. Now we're talking.
All for just calling? What do you have? Do you have to order something? And then you got,
I'll get there.
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm glad that I've piqued your curiosity.
You have. You
Yeah.
have. I'm very.
That's what this is about.
Okay.
Plus, you'll get six full-length films on DVD. To
Adult
watch
films?
together. Oh, yes. And the number 10, free shipping on your entire order. Free shipping. So what do you have to do to get your 10 free
What
gifts?
do I have to do?
Not hard. Yet.
Oh, very
Just
funny.
go to adamandeve.com and select any one item.
Yeah,
Could be an adventurous new toy, a sexy piece of lingerie, anything, one item.
yeah.
Enter the offer code Kevin at checkout,
Kevin,
and you'll get all 10 free gifts. Again, I repeat, free.
I'm doing it.
There you go. Go to adamandeve.com today, select one item, and get 10 free gifts, including free shipping. Enter the offer code Kevin, Kevin, at adamandeve.com.
I've got some great news.
Great news.
Great news. First, I just got my free gifts from adamandeve.com. Very happy.
Okay.
Second, it's called The Imposters.
The Imposters.
And I'm embarrassed
Thank you.
that I didn't know it because
Thank you.
It is an underseen movie.
It is. That first 5 minutes is the best.
Yes.
Best.
It's a Marx Brothers throwback stuff.
Yeah.
It's very good.
Yeah.
Third, and I got this from a reliable source.
Okay.
In New York City, if we are talking about a 3-level apartment, it's called a triplex.
3-level.
If we are talking about a movie theater with 3 screens, it's a triplex.
Or a 3-dwelling building in Los Angeles or California is called a triplex. But that's why I was saying it's
But
East
in New
Coast,
York,
West
it's
Coast.
a triplet. It's an
Or
East
as
Coast,
Kevin
West
would
Coast.
say, just go kill yourself.
There's that. Yes.
Okay.
Like if you know the difference, if you know the specifics, just go kill yourself.
Yeah.
But if Woody wasn't sure,
Why would he call me out like that?
gives a shit?
Yeah, if he had an opinion about it, how about giving you his opinion?
Right.
That would be helpful.
Why do you think he
Would
did
you like
that?
me to say triplex? Why don't you just tell me
Would
that?
you? I wouldn't. If I should have said, well, would you like me to say triplex?
You need to
'Cause
go find out, he said.
He said you need to go. Well, you better find out, and walked away.
That's horrible.
you know what? I'm
Thank you,
gonna
Woody.
go deep on
Yeah.
this and say you reminded him of an ex-girlfriend it didn't work out with.
He wanted to torture
Yeah.
you.
Too tall and beautiful for
Yeah.
him.
Oh, I love
She
the
couldn't put up
sound.
with his Jewish neuroses, and he saw you, and it took him right back there. And
Took
you
it
know what?
out
You
on me.
figure it out.
You push buttons.
She's like a tall Diane Keaton.
Right.
That's a compliment.
I like that, Jamie.
So Jamie, what did you want to share? I know you have a white balance card. What's going on?
No, it's not a white balance card. It's
Oh,
it is a
little paper towel?
It is a paper towel.
Oh, okay. But you thought of something right before the commercial.
I did,
Okay.
but I'm saving it
Okay, good. All right, good.
for his feature.
I know you don't like, because you're a genuine person, to talk too much about the weirdness of winning all these awards, because it is weird at some point. It's really nice. It's really considerably better than the alternative. But at some point, it just gets weird, right? When you get too many, is that a thing? My ex got 5 in a row. It was called a Cable Ace Award. You may remember it. But she was on the first kind of show on HBO that was a regular series. And every year she would get this award. And people would come by and they go, again, you know what I mean? They think it's funny to tease. And that part of it, it kind of makes
there's a bit of shame in winning
Right?
awards. There's a lot of that you feel. A lot of things that I've won or been nominated for, I feel most of the time I feel very guilty or shameful about it. But then there's also a part that's really, it's great. It feels wonderful. I mean, it's everything.
Yeah.
And usually, it's if you win it and in your speech, that's where you get torn apart, like in every way. People just look for ways to just,
What were you thinking when you said this?
why did you say that? Or like, I just can't even. Oh my God! And it's. I'm not saying I don't. I love it because I love winning. It feels. It's a great. It feels great. It's a great thing to do. It doesn't suck, but the shame and feeling you didn't thank the right people and whatever is always
pressure
right there.
It'd be disingenuous to say that it wasn't amazing and great.
Yeah.
But I wanted to just broach the subject based on the weirdness of it, just the weirdness.
Yeah.
Like the first one, I imagine,
Yeah.
surprising, shocking,
Yeah.
spectacular.
Yeah.
People might have said, you're going to get it. No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
Yeah.
And then it happens and you can't
Yeah.
believe it. And the second one's like, oh God,
Yeah.
another one.
Yeah.
Then I would think by the time you get to the fourth, in your case with the same show, then it's like,
Well, that's when I gave one of the worst speeches I've ever given because I really didn't prepare a speech because I really didn't think I was going to win.
thought, come on.
And then I did. And
Who
I
would
was
give
like,
a person
oh.
4 in a row?
No, it was. I know. I was just. It's after I won this the Emmy, the Mom Emmy. People would imagine what kind of night I had, and I can guarantee you it's nothing like anything anybody thought I would have the night I would have. I literally got in my car to the governor's ball. I went to that and was so
Which is right after.
exhausted from you take a lot of people want pictures with you and you do that and you're usually with somebody who's like, not really happy that this is because it's a work event. It's really not a date night when you're with somebody,
Yeah.
but it gets very long very fast. And then I got in the car and there are all these parties we're supposed to go to
17.
and I was like, I just want to go home. I just want to go home.
In bed at 9:30.
And yeah, literally, I was in bed at 9:30. It was just the shortest night. I didn't go out and
you had the Emmy with
celebrate.
you, but still.
Yeah, I did,
You were
and
in
that
bed.
felt good. But I felt like all of a sudden, like, why didn't I? I should have been out celebrating all night, but I don't know. I felt kind of tired and sad. So I wanted to go.
That's spectacular. That's spectacular.
That's
A
ridiculous.
week or so before, when you get the one for Masters of Sex, that's got to be a slightly different situation
Yeah,
because it's like supporting,
yeah.
but also
Guest star.
you get
The
a guest star situation where it's like, I mean, that almost seems like it would be, in some strange way, an even bigger reward because the contribution to the show is so much smaller
Yeah.
compared to carrying a co-lead on Mom. Whereas
Yeah.
I'm going to come in, I'm going to do a couple scenes, and
Yeah.
you guys are going to what? But that really?
Yeah.
Yeah. That part of it's got. I'm hoping that felt.
It was lovely. I
spectacular.
I loved that, and also it's not as I don't know what, but for that part of the Emmys show, it's not there's not as much pressure. It's a
Right.
much more relaxed feeling. I didn't winning. I was completely relaxed up on stage. I felt
Nice.
really genuinely happy to have won because I loved the role that I did, and yeah, that was great. But there's something about the other ones there's so much pressure on you, and so I was terrified of there winning for Mom because I'm not a good writer. I sort of always have ideas of what I want to say, but I never know what's really going to come out of my mouth when I get up there. Should I have to get up there? And I did, and I said, I think I made reference to 6 that I'd won 6, and then of course after someone comes out saying I was like Kanye West, like touting making sure everyone knew I won 6. Motherfuckers.
You're probably saying because you're embarrassed.
I was like 6. I was
Yeah.
just like, and so that stuff happens.
Also,
and
by
you
the
just
way,
go, "Oh."
yeah. Alan Arkin sat here, and he had the greatest speech his whole life for the Academy Awards. But then
Yeah.
once he got up there, I asked him why he didn't say it because he had told me this great speech,
Yeah.
and he said, "You turn to Jello.
Yeah.
Your mind goes to mush.
It's terrifying.
It doesn't matter
Yeah.
how well prepared or how
Yeah.
spectacular
Oh,
you
good.
feel, you
Aw.
cannot speak."
Yeah.
And it's just what happens. We don't have full control of our capacity in
No.
certain situations,
No.
and that's one of them.
Yeah.
But I do love the In Bed at 9:30. I actually like that a lot.
You do.
It's just in terms of there's all these parties to go to where I'm just going to get more shit about winning again, or
Yeah.
or I don't know. If you could hang with the people on the show that you worked with.
Yes, if I could have done that and then gone
Right?
and hung out with you and like had a booth at a bar, that
Right.
would have felt wonderful.
Then it would have been a celebration of the thing.
But mostly when you go to all these parties, you have to go to the red carpets and a lot of people talking to you. What is it?
What's it like to win
reporters
again?
And oh my gosh,
Yeah.
and I'm so grateful for having won, but it does get a certain
is-
point you can't.
yeah.
I can't talk. I
It is
will
this on the
yeah.
red
Let me
carpet.
ask, when
Yeah.
you won the first time, did you go to the parties?
Probably.
Probably. I think I did.
Right?
Yeah. I think I did. I think I
Sure.
totally
It's
did.
not as if the first
Yeah.
time you win an Emmy, you go, all
gonna
right,
go
well, thanks
home.
for the Emmy, I'm going to go home.
Yeah.
You did it.
No, I
You
did. I
knew
did.
it.
You have
I
to.
totally
Of course.
did
But what
it.
I was
I've
saying
gone out to them,
before,
but-
there's a sense of you get in that red carpet. If you did go to 7 parties, 7 red carpets, and each one would be, so you won again.
Oh, yeah,
and they would
people
think it's
do have
funny.
that, yeah, yeah.
And
And also a lot of times I've been in relationships and taken boyfriends and always ended up in fights after
Oh, sure.
those things because they're like tired of waiting for me to talk to reporters. Like, when are we, like, just, and it ends up in a fight with your, I'm like, oh my God, it's, there's so many things that get in the way of enjoying that night. So I recommend anyone who goes, if you're in a relationship with someone who's in the business, just go with your agent.
Take your mother.
Take your mother. Agent, take your mother. Don't go with anyone you're in love with, because they will not have a good time, especially if you win.
Yeah, especially if you win. Okay, so I would get yelled at if we don't talk about Mom. How does this come about, this Mom program? You had not started a sitcom before, to my knowledge.
Nope.
And according to the research, had you done fabulously failed pilots?
I did.
Seems like everyone's done
well,
some.
Matthew Perry and I did Mr. Sunshine
that was a
together.
series.
That was a series that aired.
But I mean the
6
multi-camera
episodes.
live in front of an audience.
No.
Yeah.
I've guest starred on a 2.5 Men back when Chuck and I had a development deal after West Wing ended, and I worked with him on something that Les Moonves didn't like, and so that went nowhere. And then this came around, and I was looking for this kind of thing, because there's the one thing I'd never tried before, the 3-camera multicam world. So I definitely wanted to do it.
Yeah.
And
he called up and told you what the thing was about.
he didn't call me. I got a call from my agent who
Right.
said, Chuck wants you to come in and read for it.
Discuss,
So-
read for.
Read for it, yeah. And I was, my agents were reluctant to make me do that, but I was fine with it, because I didn't, I wanted to meet Anna. I felt for sure they were looking to see if we had chemistry, and for whatever reasons, I wasn't insulted by it at all. I felt like it was a good thing to go in and do, and I had no problems reading for it.
And it would be helpful for you, quite frankly.
Yeah, it was just exactly the way I looked at it, and
Yeah.
I went in and,
I mean, how would you know if you just got a call and said,
Yeah.
they want you to do this? It seems like you would want to feel the energy and the chemistry with your co-star in
Yeah.
that situation, and
Yeah.
also you'd want to spend some time with him as well.
yeah. So I did. I went in and had a good time with Anna. I knew immediately I would get along with her. She's lovely and very easy, and Chuck was fine with me, and I got it. So I love it. I love it's different than anything I've done before.
Isn't that weird combination of theater,
Yeah, and not really, but kind of.
the rehearsal leading up to it?
Yeah, but I just describe it as the fourth wall just not being there in the taping. It's not. There's no fourth wall.
Yeah.
You're just very aware that you're performing in front of people, and you're in between takes, getting makeup and doing. They're seeing the rehearsal process. They're seeing everything, and
It's a bizarre hybrid.
it is a very bizarre hybrid.
And then sometimes they're pumped up too much because there's a warm-up person
Yeah.
whose job it is to make sure their energy stays
Yeah.
up. And then sometimes it washes onto you falsely
Yeah.
because they've been overly pumped. And then with the writers coming over with notes after a take,
Yeah.
and a lot, usually not usually, but most often, in those times, my experience has been their jokes diluted, and in this case, they just get a little better. It seems.
Yeah.
Each time,
I feel the same way, that it gets better every time.
for the most part.
For the the floor pitches, they call them.
Yeah. Ping. Ping. Could it be?
Oh, excuse me, I have to take this. What the hell? I thought I had this off. So I'll be right back.
Yeah.
What the hell?
That's how you get 6 Emmys.
Oh my God.
Show of hands. How many people thought you was actually going to take the call? Show of hands. Up in the crow's nest. Show of hands. One honest, one not.
I'm sorry. That was me. I didn't
No,
even
it
know
was
I had
perfect.
it in my pocket.
It was perfect.
Okay, I'm sorry.
You don't spend too much time on Twitter, but a little bit.
A little bit, I try.
Yeah.
I think it's a better format for people like yourself who are very funny.
Who go with the funny.
writers, you can do the funny. The funny is the way to go with it.
I agree with her. It's like everyone I follow on Twitter is like, I'm just trying to make a joke.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can't compete them over it.
I can't
I'm
compete
not
with
trying
that
to be
at
on
all.
it at midnight. And that's what I feel like. Everyone's like, I'm just trying to be on it at midnight.
I agree. And I'll tell you, I'll give you a
can't do
tip.
Yeah.
By the way, if you retweet
That's the way.
someone that you find that you read a tweet of theirs
Yeah.
and you find that incredibly
yeah.
funny,
Yeah.
and you retweet it, it starts to show anyone that follows you the sort of sense of humor that you have
Oh, thank you.
also,
That's
without the
actually very good
pressure of having to
advice.
write the joke.
Okay.
And what's also kind of wonderful is no one thinks you're trying to rip off that
Right,
bit. You're in
right.
fact showcasing
Yeah,
it to
yeah,
your followers.
yeah.
It's kind of the
Oh,
a
thank
pretty
you.
great
That's
little
that's a good way for me to look
understanding.
at it.
Yeah.
Because it's very hard to do. I try to live tweet during our show.
Yeah.
And I'll retweet, Sadie
Sure.
is always sending me stuff to retweet. Sadie Calvano, who plays my granddaughter.
Not possible.
Oh
But if
my
there's anyone that you follow on Twitter that you read in the timeline where
Yeah.
they make you laugh,
Yeah.
just hit retweet.
All right, that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to do.
So the reason I asked about Twitter is because we do like to mix it up and have a little fun here on occasion by
Yeah.
playing a game.
Okay.
First of all, Jamie, I'm going to see if you forward me something. Yeah, here we go. So the first game will be from Twitter, from the audience. Remember I mentioned that sometimes questions come.
Yeah.
They come in the form of, we asked folks, we put together this thing called a Tweet 5, Don't Play the Music Yet, where you get asked rapid fire 5 questions, this or that, Coke or Pepsi, no correct answer, right? And they're specifically designed by the audience for you, so it's not just random
Really?
Coke or Pepsis. In this case, from @SamTweets. And now play the Tweet 5 graphic, logo, artwork, music, Dave Keckner singing. And then I will hit you with the Tweet 5. Seconds away.
I'm so not a rapid fire person, but.
Yeah, and there's no correct answers, the good part.
Okay.
Tweet number 1. West Wing or West Side Story?
West Wing.
10 Things I Hate About You or 10 Commandments?
10 Things I Hate About You.
Sorkin or Shakespeare?
Sorkin.
Mom or Mamma Mia?
Mom.
Weed or Weeds?
Weed.
See, it can be
5
fun.
for 5.
It can be fun.
5 for 5.
5 for 5 indeed. See how fun? You
I don't
accidentally-
know. I'm a sucker for 10 Commandments.
Are you? Otherwise, you did all right.
The Charlton Heston version? Oh, please.
Oh yeah, no, that's good stuff. Not
Good
bad.
stuff.
Now, you talked about 10 Things I Hate About You, which I wanted to mention.
Please do.
And it seemed like you were happy to that's a great movie.
Oh, yeah.
It's beloved by generations
Yeah.
now for
Yeah.
over a decade. And I've always been curious,
Yes.
Ms. Janney,
Yeah.
at the very end of the movie, after the credits,
Oh, yes.
there is a little tag with you and I believe the director, Gil Younger.
Yes.
But it always seemed so strange to me because it looks like, if you've not seen it, it looks like it's going to be a blooper. Like the 2 actresses, Julia Stiles and
other
Larissa
girl.
Olenek, are walking down the hallway and they're
Yeah.
bickering, and then they round the corner, and the camera pans perfectly to reveal Allison and Gil, the director, in a various state of undress, embracing.
Yeah.
And I'm-
So
I'm
the
dying to know
question
the
was it
backstory.
purpose?
Oh,
I
it's
don't know.
totally. We totally set that up. We were
Okay.
totally like, okay, they're gonna walk by and let's just be totally making out. But like, I think it was probably even my idea. It sounds like something I would do. Just to,
Subversive.
yes.
Yeah.
Gil was the fastest director I've ever worked with in my life. The fastest talker, the fastest, just everything. Like I wouldn't even know sometimes. You come in and say something, did you even understand what did you just tell me to do? He was so funny, that man. Very, very energetic, a great experience doing that movie. And he let me do whatever I wanted to do, basically. I just like,
Great.
I'm not a great improver, but sometimes I'll just add things into the scene. He was like, that was great, dude. He was a little minx, that man.
If they let you go and you're comfortable in the role, you can.
I can, yeah. I have fun, yeah. Not always, but sometimes. Like that movie and Drop Dead Gorgeous, I got to improv some things.
Fun.
Just like a
Drop
lot
Dead
of fun.
Gorgeous is a very fun
Yeah,
movie.
that's an underground. That's a cult movie.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
sure both are widely available on streaming. So
I don't
do
know.
yourself
Drop Dead
a favor.
Gorgeous isn't available anywhere. I think it
Tough
was
to find.
before.
It's
Yeah, I don't
really
think you
fun.
can find that.
Oh my goodness!
It's
Well,
before they had
we're gonna have to write this ship.
computers. I don't know. It was before they had something.
It's about being in a pageant, and I remember because like all of my friends in high school were like, we're gonna try out for this pageant, and they're like, you have to watch Drop Dead Gorgeous because it's gonna be like this is our town.
Yeah.
I didn't know because I wasn't in the pageant.
Amy Adams
but-
was in that, and
Yeah.
Brittany Murphy, and so many people in that movie. It was a good time. Ellen Barkin was.
The
I
research
don't know if I
showed
can
you
tell
had
the
fun
story.
with Ellen Barkin.
Well, Ellen Barkin, and she's and I don't want to. I'm going to tell the story that she that happened. Maybe I should. I don't even know if I should or not. I don't know.
What aspect of it would you want to protect?
Well,
Maybe just stay away from that, maybe.
maybe I should. I don't know.
Yeah, it's okay.
I'm just going
She
to
was
stay
fun
away
to
from
work
that. She was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
A lot of fun.
The story is, she's a lot
She's
of
a
fun
lot
to
of
work
fun
with.
to work with.
Quite a pro. A body, likes to put
Very
it out
body,
there.
real dame.
Yeah,
So much fun.
A real dame.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. In the best possible way.
Yeah. Unfortunately for you and all the viewers out there and listening, most of my fun stories I really can't tell. I really can't.
But you've
And
done
there
so
are
well,
lots.
and we're out of time.
Are you serious?
Can you believe it? Over an hour's gone by?
Oh my God.
Do you feel
Well,
good about that?
I do. I hope there's so much we didn't.
We had a very
This is
special
always-
game planned that our head writer Jamie Foxx worked
I
on.
prepared this.
You what?
I really like the theme, and I prepared it.
I want to do it.
Okay, let's do it. Sammy,
Roll the thing.
it's time for Who Tweeted.
Roll the thing.
This will just take a couple minutes,
Okay.
and then we'll get you out of here.
I'm not in a hurry.
They're rolling the graphic.
Oh, this is exciting.
Yeah, sorry, yeah, this is, get in there.
Can I get in there?
Yeah.
Well, careful. Now you
Here we
can get
go.
in there.
Oh, it is exciting.
You good?
You're gonna like it.
Really?
You're gonna like it.
All right, let her
Oh,
rip.
here we go. Okay.
Okay.
This is Who Tweeted. It's the exciting game that's sweeping the podcast nation.
Okay.
Here's how the game works.
Okay.
So there are 3 tweeters who I'm going to read tweets by.
Okay.
And in honor of you and all your awards,
Yeah.
this is the Egot edition. Egot.
Yeah, explain to the
Emmy,
listeners. the
Emmy,
viewers.
Grammy,
Grammy,
Oscar,
Oscar,
Tony.
Okay.
Right. All of the tweeters on today's schedule all have EGOTs. They are Mel Brooks, Whoopi Goldberg, and Robert Lopez, who I
Robert
wasn't familiar
Lopez.
with, but Jamie was.
The lyricist?
Yes, he wrote, "Let it go, let it go, don't hold it back anymore."
But you do have to hold it back because we don't own the rights.
Oh.
What else did he?
Good point.
Yeah.
And also Avenue Q and Book of Mormon.
And a movie, must have been a movie to win
Yeah.
the Academy Award.
Frozen.
Frozen, right.
Frozen.
There it is.
Wow.
Okay, so Mel Brooks, Whoopi Goldberg, Robert Lopez. Here's how it works. I'm going to read a series of 8 tweets written by one of the 3 of those people.
One at a
Okay.
time.
One at a time. And as soon as you feel like you know which of the 3 wrote it, you ring in by saying your own name,
Allison or Kevin.
and then I'll point to you. You'll have 3 seconds to either say Mel Brooks, Whoopi Goldberg, or Robert Lopez.
Okay.
Buzz in, you get it right, you get yourself 5 points. Buzz in, you get it wrong, you lose 3. At the end of 8 tweets, unless there is a tie, the winner will be walking away
Cash prize?
with that sweet,
Sweet.
sweet
Cash prize, baby!
cash prize. Because we
All
don't
right.
play for fun here.
Let's do it.
Tweet number 1. I would love for my email address to become unaffiliated with any political party.
Kevin.
Whoopi Goldberg. Allison.
I'm sorry, no.
Who was it?
Robert Lopez.
That son of a bitch. All right, number 2.
Tweet number 2. I want an Apple Watch.
Kevin Mel Brooks.
Oh no! Oh, I forgot to tell you. I love it when he loses.
Okay.
That was Whoopi. Whoopi.
Yelling, I want an
An
Apple
Apple
Watch?
Watch?
Yep.
Okay.
3 exclamation points. Tweet number 3. Saw offbeat film Frank. Michael Fassbender and Maggie Gyllenhaal. Just saying it's wonderfully different and moving film, and Fassbender's great again.
That could be all 3 of them.
Could be.
Kevin Mel Brooks.
Ooh. Sorry, no.
You're not sorry. Who
I
said
get
it?
that.
Also Whoopi.
I was going to say it, and I thought, no, I'll let Kevin.
It's all right.
Let Kevin get it wrong.
Oh, he'll
again.
flame out. This will be fun. Tweet number 4.
Number 4.
Have your kids noticed me yet as the voice of the Mad Hatter and Dora the Wonderland special on @Nickelodeon TV?
Kevin Whoopi.
Oh, sorry, no.
Come on!
Mel Brooks. The
As-
great
as the
Mel
Mad
Brooks.
Hatter?
As the
These
Mad
are
Hatter.
very
Dora.
Yeah.
interesting tweets. They're
Yeah.
very just.
Jamie picks them, and she picks them so that they're not obvious.
I like that's
Yeah.
good then because they're not. They're
Yeah, so
very-
far we've gotten
okay.
4 wrong. Well, I've gotten 3 wrong.
All right.
You've gotten more.
Tweet number 5. Do sea lions have to poop out fish bones?
Oh my gosh. I'm going to say Allison Mel Brooks.
Sorry, no.
That's got to be Whoopi.
That was Robert Lopez.
Oh, what?
The one guy you wouldn't think would be the hilarious. Fish bones.
I don't know.
We are 5 for 5.
Tweet number 6. Just overheard a Jewish man rant. I hate Jews who hate other Jews.
Allison Mel Brooks.
Sorry, no. I was really hoping Kevin would ring in with that wrong one.
We got
That
all
was
three.
that was Robert Lopez.
Robert
again.
Lopez coming in with
Hilarious.
what the hell?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right.
I'm very confused.
Number 7.
Tweet number 7. It's not my birthday.
Kevin Robert Lopez.
No. Nope, not even close.
It's not my birthday. What?
It's not my birthday. Just wanted to do some birthday shout-outs. I'm a Scorpio.
Oh, Phil Scorpio. Do you know who that is?
it?
Whoopi.
Whoopi.
And the potential 8th and final tweet, lest there's a tie. I desperately need to wash my hands.
That's a good tweet. Seriously.
Allison Robert Lopez.
We have a tie, ladies and gentlemen. Fortunately, that was the Jew of the group, Mel Brooks.
8 for 8.
8 for 8. This is how I
So
like
do
it.
we?
No.
Tiebreaker.
Oh,
The
tiebreaker.
8th or the 9th and
Okay.
tie-breaking tweet.
Okay.
You can tell it's early fall in Brooklyn when the mosquitoes lose their sense of direction.
Kevin Whoopi.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner, Miss Allison Janney.
We got 9 wrong.
9 wrong. 9 wrong. Well
Thanks,
done,
Al.
sir. Was Robert Lopez.
Robert Lopez.
And
Killer.
that
Gotta
is
be
how you
Robert.
play.
Oh my
Who tweeted?
gosh.
Thank you,
Oh
Sammy.
my God. Thanks, Sam.
Spectacular. Wow, that's how easy it all is.
That was terribly difficult.
We
a tough
we
edition.
crushed that.
Was I interesting at all?
Let's tweet it up. Here we go. It's the show selfie. Also a first in 221 shows. 221 episodes.
Not a.
That's a
two-
first.
a
And
selfie?
I could not be more thrilled. In
I'm gonna
fact,
tweet that.
I'm going to
I'm
do
gonna
it from now
tweet
on.
that.
I'm going to steal your bit, and I'm going to take a picture of the guest like that. I love it.
Okay.
Thank
Yep. I'll tweet
you.
it.
There's only one last thing to do other than to say thank you and I love you.
I love you too.
You mentioned that every now and then you get to improvise. It's not what you consider to be your specialty, but sometimes it happens. There's this thing we do at the very end of the show. Larry King, bless him, did something that caught Jamie's eye, and it became something called the Larry King game, which is fun to play at a party also.
It is?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So basically you're reenacting that moment when Larry would go to the phones to talk to America. And right before he went to the phones, he'd look into the camera and he'd share something about himself that nobody wanted to know. Like, I like Oreo cookies, whatever it was. He would share some King-ism that no one gave a shit about. And then he would go to the phone. So we're asking, at the end of every interview, the guest plays the Larry King game. So you do a bad Larry King impression. All the pressure's off. I don't want a good one. Bad Larry King impression makes me laugh. You do a bad Larry King impression, then as Larry, you share something about Larry, not about you, right? Like, I like Oreo cookies, whatever it is. And then you go to the phones, and if the name of the city is funny sounding, it's helpful. So that's it. Bad Larry King impression. Larry shares something about himself, and then he goes to the phones. There's your camera right
I know.
there.
I can't. I have no
This is-
idea. I don't know how Larry King sounds at
Okay,
all.
here's the
I mean,
prototype.
I've watched Larry King, but
Here's
I
the
don't know.
prototype. Well, I want a bad Larry King impression. I don't want a good one. Thanksgiving, I like to teabag the gravy boats before the guests arrive. Schenectady, hello.
He likes to T-boat the gravy
Finally, she
bags.
laughed at something. It took 92 minutes.
Larry
Okay.
King. I don't. Wait.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah, but what am I going to say?
Anything.
I first say. I
his
say
first
what?
ride on a pterodactyl, whatever it was. Some memory Larry has, and then go to the phones right into your camera.
He's very old.
It's very old. Think
What?
that.
But wait. I first say some memory I have. I tell
As
him
Larry,
something I
he
like
had,
to do.
not from your life.
Just
from his.
reminiscing.
You're making up a Larry King memory, is what you're doing.
I'm Larry King here. Something people don't know about me. I like to shave my dogs. I like to shave the hair down really short. No reason at all. Just like to shave my dogs. Let's go to the phones. All right, here we go. We got Cincinnati, Ohio.
Genius! Literally one of the best ones ever. I don't know how to do this, and then coughs out genius. All right. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
You found a new character you
I
love.
did.
So much fun. Thank you, dear.
Thank you, Kevin.
Yes, honestly and truly.
I love you.
Now sit there uncomfortably while I wrap things up for the folks at home.
Okay.
Thursday night at 8:30, that's when the mom program is for the time being until it moves to Monday, but you'll find out about that later. Following the Big Bang Schmeal. Yeah, and all.
Passive Incorporated.
There we go.
We're gonna-
Thank you, Sammy. Thank you, Jamie.
Our pleasure.
Yes, thank you, J Mac and Josh. Sure. Thank you, Evil Dr. Chen, Samantha Ward, back, thank goodness, on the makeup.
Woo.
Danielle Oberlin, the media maven. Wow, I said all that correct. First
Sean
time
Casey.
Next week,
What about
Phil-
Sean Casey? You didn't give
Sean
it
Casey right here at the West Side Comedy
Yeah.
Theater. Yo, Sean Casey! There it was. And thanks again, of course, to Sean Casey in the West Side Comedy Theater, and of course, to New Tech, providing us with a fantastic TriCaster. Couldn't be happier. Next week, filmmaker Jake Kasdan. More to come in December. Until next time, and as always, get out of my face.